The years ahead hummed and glowed with promise. The gulls were flocked into the council gathering when he landed. And apparently... I'm going to have to miss that bit out. About the flocks. The years ahead hummed and glowed with promise. The gulls were flocked into the council gathering when he landed, and apparently had been so for some time. They were, in fact, waiting. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, stand to centre. The elder's words sounded in a voice of highest ceremony. Stand to centre meant only great shame or great honour. Stand to centre for honour was the way the gulls' foremost leaders were marked. Of course, he thought, the breakfast flock. This... I've got a runny nose. Right. I'm back. Right. The years ahead hummed and glowed with promise. The gulls were flocked into the council gathering when he landed, and apparently had been so for some time. They were in fact waiting. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, stand to centre. The elder's words sounded in a voice of highest ceremony. Stand to centre meant only great shame or great honour. Stand to centre for honour was the way the gulls' foremost leaders were marked. Of course, he thought, the breakfast flock this morning, they saw the breakthrough, but I want no honours. I've no wish to be leader. I want only to share what I've found, to show those horizons out ahead for us all. He stepped forward. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, said the elder, stand to centre for shame in the sight of your fellow gulls. It felt like being hit with a board. His knees went weak, his feathers sagged, there was a roaring in his ears. Centred for shame? Impossible. The breakthrough. They can't understand. They're wrong, they're wrong. For his reckless irresponsibility, the solemn voice intoned, violating the dignity and tradition of the gull family. To be centred for shame meant that he would be cast out of gull society, banished to a solitary life on the far cliffs. One day, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, you shall learn that irresponsibility does not pay. Life is the unknown and the unknowable, except that we are put into this world to eat, to stay alive as long as we possibly can. A seagull never speaks back to the council flock, but it was Jonathan's voice raised. Irresponsibility? My brothers, he cried. Who is more responsible than a gull who finds and follows a meaning, a higher purpose for life? For 1,000 years we've scrabbled after fish heads, but now we have a reason to live, to learn, to discover, to be free. Give me one chance. Let me show you what I've found. The flock might as well have been stone. The brotherhood is broken, the gulls intoned together, and with one accord they solemnly closed their ears and turned their backs upon him. Jonathan Seagull spent the rest of his days alone, but he flew way out beyond the far cliffs. His one sorrow was not solitude. It was that the other gulls refused to believe the glory of flags that awaited them. They refused to open their eyes and see. He learned more each day. He learned that a streamlined high-speed dive could bring him to find the rare and tasty fish that schooled 10 feet below the surface of the ocean. He no longer needed fishing boats and stale bread for survival. He learned to sleep in the air, setting a course at night across the offshore wind, covering 100 miles from sunset to sunrise. With the same inner control, he flew through heavy sea fogs and climbed above them into dazzling clear skies. in the very times when every other gull stood on the ground, knowing nothing but mist and rain. He learned to ride the high winds far inland, to dine there on delicate insects. What he had once hoped for the flock, he now gained for himself alone. He learned to fly, and was not sorry for the price that he had paid. Jonathan Seagull discovered that boredom and fear and anger are the reasons that a gull's life is so short, and with these gone from his thought, he lived a long, fine life indeed. Hummed and glowed with promise. The gulls were flocked into the council. Sean! I was going to do it then.
Right, sorry.
The years ahead hummed and glowed with promise. The gulls.
Right.
The years ahead hummed and glowed with. The years ahead. The years ahead hummed and years. The years ahead hummed and glowed with promise. The gulls were flocked into the John, you're not supposed to laugh.
Alright, I won't anymore, I'll stay here.
You'll laugh, won't you?
Right, go on.
Right. The years ahead hummed and glowed with promise. I can't get over that flocking business. You know the flocking?
Yeah.
Flock, 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 flock. Flock, 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 flock. The years ahead hummed and glowed with promise. I don't think I can get over this flock at all. The years ahead hummed and glowed with promise. The gulls flocked into the council gathering. John, this is supposed to be serious. Perhaps it was to try the darkling flourish first.
I haven't got any flocks in it, has it?